waiting for this
Hold
moment.
up. You have a ticket for Brick. That is wild.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. Why don't we start, Noah, with just giving the audience who hasn't seen the movie a bit of an idea of what it's about.
It is about, well, the final heist in a storied career of a small-time criminal played by Mr. John Turturro.
What attracted you to exploring the idea of an old school pickpocket in our modern world?
You know, I'm a pretty analog guy still, you know, but I exist in a digital world, and I don't think that the two are mutually exclusive, but I do think that there's a really interesting contrast, and wanting to sort of talk about that contrast and sort of how we navigate it, you know, and then how that can happen in a place, my place, New York, where I'm from, that is sort of constantly challenged with that push and pull, the old school and the new school. And
I have to ask, because again, I do love noir. Do you guys have any favorite noir films that kind of speak to you?
But yeah, I mean, I did watch Brick. I guess Brick might be a noir.
It's definitely noir.
getting high on my own supply over here.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at remembering the names of movies, especially the ones that I see on TCM that were made, you know, like I don't even, half the directors, I don't even know them. But I go, when was this movie made? Like, who was in this? And there's that, is it still on, the Noir Alley on TCM?
Oh, yeah.
It's just a wonderful way to either spend midnight on a Saturday or Sunday morning.
Yes.
I think it's actually the perfect way to spend a weekend, is delving into some fun noir. It's such a wild genre with such a deep history, too.
Well, it's also post-war. That a lot of it came out of post-war, and people who had different experiences, like Jules Dassin. He made a bunch of them. Night in the City. He made Brute Force. There's Force of Evil. There's Out of the Past. You know, a lot of these people were Americans and they were foreigners. There's a whole, history of that. The Sweet Smell of Success is kind of a film noir.
Absolutely. I was about to say.
It's one of the meanest, nastiest.
You're a cookie full of arsenic.
And I hate
There you go.
Wow.
What was the...
I hate to take a bite out of you.
You're a cookie full of... I love... That's one of the perfect scripts.
All day long.
I think you guys are touching on something very interesting about noir, which is you cannot separate noir as a genre from its historical conditions. In many ways, this is a movie about New York and how it's changed or refused to change over the years. What is the most devastating change you've witnessed in New York?
I just think there's so many theaters that I would go see plays when I had no money, and revival houses all over New York. And I got such a big education, seeing them. I could go to any part of the city and see, a Kurosawa film if I wanted to, or a Sidney Lumet film. And so that's something I definitely miss. I don't. It was more democratic. I felt like, and especially for people who didn't have the means,
Yeah, I miss Times Square.
What about New York made sense for this movie and its current history to kind of have this sort of character kind of facing who he is now, what he's lost, and where he's going? Like, what kind of made New York the perfect setting for this kind of crime story?
When you travel a lot, which actors, we all go around the world and then you come back home, it's always shocking to me when I'm on a subway, and I'm like looking at people and I'm like, wow, this is like the real world, and I mean, recently I was on a subway and it was freezing outside, and this guy gets on the subway butt naked with like a little shoulder bag. And these two ladies, I don't know if they're from Jamaica or something like that, they made eye contact with me. We're looking at each other like that. My wife is like looking this way and they're looking at me, and I'm like, and they're like, and the guy's just sitting there like this. And then he gets up and he goes off on the train. And these two ladies, they said, don't sit in that seat. Don't sit in that seat. They said, he was butt naked. She was, and I was thinking like, well, this is a great moment. We were on the subway getting off the Yankee Stadium, was shooting, and this guy was in full Mets regalia. And I was thinking like, what is he doing to get
Suicide mission.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's just there to.